There is a moment, just before dawn, when the world still belongs to shadows and dew, when the soil is cool, the grass is wet, and the sky is a soft, unmade bed of grey-blue. In that moment, a bull exhales. The breath rolls out of him like fog from a hidden valley, warm and sure, and the earth seems to listen. He is not merely an animal. He is a presence, a pulse, a reminder that strength can be quiet, ancient, and deeply rooted in the ground beneath our feet. The bull does not rush to claim attention. He gathers it, slowly, simply by standing there, vast, muscled, horned like a crescent of moonlight and earth, an emblem of power shaped by time, hunger, survival, and the unbroken patience of nature. Run your eyes along the contours of his frame, the heavy crest of his neck that rises like a hill at dusk, the deep chest that carries the rhythm of a drumbeat heart, the wide shoulders that hold the memory of starlight and storms. A bull's body is a landscape, knotted with sinew, stretched with purpose, and sculpted by generations of selection and survival. Each muscle tells a story of pushing against the wind, against rivals, against the gravity of nature's law. His weight is not clumsy, it is deliberate. He moves with the confidence of something that knows it cannot be ignored, yet chooses graciously not to dominate everything around it. He is not haste, he is certainty. Those horns, curved, sweeping, or thick and rugged, are not simply weapons. They are signatures of breed and bloodline, ornaments of dominance, symbols etched into skull and silhouette. In many cultures, they are crescents of the sky brought down to earth, embodied crescents of the waxing moon, a sacred geometry of fear and fascination. They are elegant mathematics, a balance of length and curve designed by evolution's patient pen. They gleam in the morning sun, cast dramatic shadows in the afternoon, and whisper of the nights when entire mythologies were carved around the idea of the horned, the powerful, the sacred bull. For all his mass, for all his thunder, look into a bull's eyes and you may find something else entirely, an old, fathomless patience. Dark, reflective, almost philosophical, his gaze carries the weight of time. It is the look of a creature that has lived through storms and summers, through calving seasons and quiet winters. His eyes hold the sadness of history and the steadiness of duty. They carry tenderness too. Yes, beneath the immovable strength, there is a softness that surfaces in the scent of fresh hay, in the proximity of his herd, in the comfort of routine. Even in his temper is a logic, a code, an unspoken line you must not cross. Respect it, and he will respect you. Defy it, and you will understand the difference between strength that is calm and strength that awakens. He is often the solitary shadow at the edge of the herd, the quiet anchor of a moving constellation of lives. The cows graze and murmur, the calves take brave steps through the high grass, and he remains watchful, deliberate, unflinching. He is not a doting father in a human sense, no tender lullabies or sheltering wings, but he is a presence, an orbit, a gravitational force that defines the territory and the tone of the pasture. When he shifts, the herd feels it. When he stands unmoving against the wind, the herd trusts it. He is not the storyteller of the meadow, he is the punctuation mark, the period at the end of every sentence of motion, the full stop of conflict. Beneath the bellowing chest and stern profile lies a miracle of digestion, 4 stomach compartments patiently transforming sunlit grass into life, muscle, energy, milk through lineage, and genetic legacy. Rumen, reticulum, omosum, abomosum. These are not just biological terms. They are chambers of alchemy, evolving a green universe of fiber and cellulose into the heat of living breath, into the power that furrows fields, fuels generations, and fills the very silence of the countryside with the echo of hooves. This slow microbial symphony is a quieter miracle, one that happens without applause, yet sustains entire civilizations. The story of the bull is braided with our own, as old as soil turned for the first time and as new as any modern pasture. Ancient fields were cut open by oxen, castrated bulls made into patient engines of agriculture, who pulled plows through stubborn earth and gave humans the power to grow, to settle, to feed cities. Bulls have pulled our burdens, fertilized our crops, guarded our genetic future, and walked beside us through wars and prayers alike. They have been carved into temple walls, gilded into gods, and auctioned off in market squares with the flick of a wrist and the call of a number. To speak about human civilization without speaking about the bull is to forget the very backbone of our rise, the muscular energy of beasts that taught us to harness strength without breaking it. Long before spreadsheets and satellite feeds, humans looked at bulls and saw gods. The Apis bull of ancient Egypt was a living divinity, a walking altar covered in patterns the priests read like sacred scripts. In Crete, the bull leaped with men in acrobatic rituals, immortalized in frescoes that still radiate heat from ancient summers. Zeus took the form of a bull to seduce Europa, the bull as disguise, as seduction, as destiny. In Vedic hymns, the bull was a metaphor for rain, for power, for the rumbling voice of the skies. The bull is both earth and storm, both stability and upheaval. Across epochs and empires, people knelt to the bull, feared it, studied it, and painted it on cave walls with blood and ochre as if to say, "We honor the one who shares the ground with us, the one whose very body is a mountain we must respect." And then there is the arena, a circle of sand, a theatre of blood and ceremony, a tradition contested by passion and history. In bullfighting, the bull becomes myth once again, but at a terrible cost. The dance is charged, the movements dramatic, the cape a seductive flare of colour. The bull stands as both hero and victim, an old ritual under a new sun, defended by some as art, denounced by others as cruelty. The spectacle is heavy with symbolism, but the reality is heavier with pain. The conversation around it is necessary, uncomfortable, and evolving. Even in arenas where the bull once ruled the afternoon, new generations ask, can we revere power without spilling blood? Can we celebrate bravery without breaking bodies? The answer, perhaps, belongs to a future in which reverence is not measured in wounds. Across oceans and cultures, another spectacle unfolds. The rodeo, where timers buzz, dust flies, and a bull's raw power becomes the measuring stick of cowboy courage. 8 seconds is a lifetime when a 1,000-pound storm is under you. Here, the bull is an athlete, not a victim, a competitor with a name, lineage, reputation. Yet still, the question of ethics lingers and responsibility presses down like saddle leather. How do we preserve dignity on both sides of the rope? How do we let the bull be the bull, powerful, respected, fierce, without turning that respect into exploitation? The bull is not an accessory to our adrenaline. He is a mirror of it. In the quiet pastures of today, science whispers into the future through genomes and pedigrees. Bulls are not just chosen, they're curated. Genetic lines are tracked with the precision of constellations. We choose for size, for temperament, for disease resistance, for meat or milk, for efficiency in a warming world where every drop of water matters. And yet, beneath all the data, all the spreadsheets, there remains that ancient dominance, that gaze that has seen centuries pass like shadows. A bull's DNA carries our intentions and nature's stubborn guiding hand to make life fit the times, to make strength serve survival. No story of the bull in the 21st century can ignore the earth herself. The atmosphere that trembles with greenhouse gases, the debates that rage about grazing, methane, sustainability, and the balance between culture, nutrition, economics, and ecology. Bulls, as fathers of herds that feed half the planet, are at the center of a conversation bigger than any pasture. Regenerative grazing tries to echo the rhythms of wild migrations, to let hooves aerate the soil, to let dung feed the microbiome of the earth, to capture carbon where it belongs, underfoot. Others argue for reduction, for alternatives, for a future where the bull is less pivotal to our plates. And yet, the bull remains, symbol and system, problem and possibility, requiring us to tread thoughtfully, respectfully, and honestly across the ground that feeds us all. Language, too, claims the bull. A rising market is bullish. A bold person is bullish. A surge of energy is a bull run. Even in our speech, the bull is momentum, upward force, refusal to be contained by a ceiling. The bull charges through our vocabulary, horns lowered, unstoppable, a reminder that we measure our dreams in the metaphors of strength. We do not say lion market or eagle market, we say bull, because the bull is not about elegance or speed alone. It is about mass, determination, undeniable surge. The bull is effort given form. The bull is a force that doesn't stop because you wish it to. It stops when it's ready. For all of his solitary bearing, his contribution to the herd is profound and generational. One bull can father 1,000 calves if humans choose it so. His genes spread like wind-borne seeds, shaping the future of fields he will never see. He is the silent architect of countless coats, breaths, heartbeats. He is, in his quiet way, a legacy machine, an engine not of iron and oil, but of blood and time. The calves that sprint awkwardly in the spring, all knees and wonder, may carry in them his shoulders, his calm, his temperament, his thunder. He may never nuzzle them, never guard them in the way we might romanticize, but his existence is etched into their bones. A bull's stillness is an act of power. When he stops, the world seems to hold its breath because silence from such a creature is never empty. It is charged. The dust settles. The flies dance. His ears flick subtly, as if tuning in to a frequency you cannot hear. The ground waits, and then, in an instant, that calm becomes a storm. Hooves tearing into the earth, horns cutting through air that whips into a frenzy, muscles exploding in a choreography of force. He can go from statue to thunderbolt in a second, and that is part of the awe, strength held, strength released. The lesson lives there, in that liminal space between gentleness and fury. Respect the distance, understand the signal, don't mistake silence for surrender. At night, when the moon presses its cool hand on the back of the world, the bull lies down. He folds his legs like a mountain settling. His breath rises in visible clouds in the cold, like smoke from a hidden forge. Owls speak softly from trees, insects arrange their chorus, and the stars trace patterns over his back that humans once thought were messages. He dreams, perhaps, with the slow, ruminant engine of his stomach turning green into heat, heat into life. In the dark, he is neither myth nor market, neither legend nor livelihood. He is exactly what he has always been, a living, breathing, conscious piece of the earth, carried forward by heartbeat and hunger. He teaches without lessons, without chalk, without lectures. Yet what he teaches is foundational. He teaches patience, that strength need not be proven at every provocation. He teaches boundaries, that respect is not demanded but enforced quietly when crossed. He teaches presence, that simply standing solid in your own skin can be enough to change the whole field around you. And he teaches us the humility of scale, how small we are when we stand beside something that is muscle and mind, history and symbol, biology and myth all in one body. Even as the world changes, cities rising, digital suns burning on distant screens, the old songs still linger in the fields. You can hear it in the rustle of grass as a bull moves through it, in the gravelly grunt that vibrates in your chest, in the weight of hooves imprinting soft earth. The bull is a bridge from the past to the future, a living testament to the animals that built our food systems, shaped our rituals, and populated our stories. He is a creature that pulls our gaze down from the frantic sky of notifications and into the steady, grounding logic of soil, muscle, breath, and time. There is a kind of grace in seeing a bull lower his massive head to water. The ripple moves out from his muzzle, and the reflection trembles, turning his image into a flickering myth. The power that could break a fence chooses to drink gently. The horn that could tear a rival chooses to rest. This is not the surrender of strength, but its discipline. This is what true might looks like when it makes peace with itself. In that quiet, you can almost hear the heartbeat of civilizations that learn to live beside power, to harness it, to pray to it, to question it, to fear it, to depend on it, and to be transformed by it. When a bull walks, the earth remembers. Hoofprints fill with rain, dry with sun, and grow new grass in their hollows. The path he takes becomes a story written in dirt, read by insects, felt by calves, recalled by cowherds as the way he always went. And when he is gone, when the pasture is quiet, the fence unleaned, the air less thundered, you know that something ancient has passed through your life. To have stood near a bull is to have stood near a mountain that breathes, a myth that moves, a symbol that eats grass and watches quietly and challenges whatever dares to forget that true strength need not shout. It only needs to be. And so the bull continues. Across centuries, across meadows, across myths, across ledgers, across bloodlines. Calm, colossal, conscious. A force that does not apologize for existing. A being that reminds us. Sometimes the gentlest thing in the field is also the most powerful, and sometimes the softest gaze belongs to the oldest thunder.